Hello, Louisville. Guess who's coming to dinner? Well, happy Monday, and welcome to Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. I am your host, Janice Carter Miller, and today is the day that the Lord has made, so let us rejoice and be glad in it. I got something still on over here. Let me turn that off. Hush, hush up. I had my phone on the show, naturally. So we're here today. I voted on Saturday. I hope everybody who hasn't voted gets out to vote because, they've got these different levels of what's the most important thing to vote for. Democracy. Did you hear me? Our democracy. If you're old enough to remember the civil rights movement, none of us were here doing slavery. So we're not going backwards. Let's get that straight. We're not going backwards, but the only way we won't go backwards is that we get up in the morning and go vote. If you haven't voted, no excuses, go vote. I can't tell you who to vote for. Just go vote. It's that important. It's that important. The other things that are important, you vote no on the amendments 1 and 2. No. Just no. Don't worry about it. No. Got me. It's a right. It's a privilege. Some people died so we could go vote. So, we're not getting ready to do an injustice to them by not going to vote. That's the most important thing that we have to do this week is go vote. Because otherwise we got some nincompoops want to tell us what to do, how to do it, what rights we have, what liberties we have, what freedoms we have. So that's not what we're going to deal with. I remember demonstrating for open housing out in South Louisville. Not going back to do that. Number one, I'm too old to march, but I'm not too old to fight. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. And you fight in a lot of different ways. And to use your vote is the best way to fight against those that are trying to destroy our democracy. So let me pivot. Last week, I went to an alumni meeting at Shawnee because we don't have an alumni association. Our president was killed in a hit-and-run accident in Shively this year. So different classes have come together to put our association back together. And one of the things that they have at Shawnee as a magnet school, they have business courses. And business courses dealing with becoming an entrepreneur. So how appropriate that tonight's guest is none other than the entrepreneur extraordinaire in Louisville, Kentucky, Miss Nachand Trabue. Good evening, darling.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I'm going to tell you, you are one of those, I like go-getters. You know what I'm saying? I like people that are progressive, have a lot of energy, and do what they say they're going to do. So, Nachand, I want you to tell my audience all about you. They might know you because I'm presenting to some and introducing to others. Tell me about your story. What turned you on to business?
That's a good question. I would say, for those who don't know me and all the other viewers who are listening, I am a native of Louisville, Kentucky, and born and raised in Smoketown in West Louisville, which are predominantly Black neighborhoods in the Ville. Right. My parents had me at a great state in my life where they were able to provide me the opportunity to attend parochial schools. And from there, I went on to colleges. They helped me to be able to become the woman that I am now, as well as all the aunties and uncles who are from those different areas where I was raised at that has helped me. So I give credit back to where credit's due, because
Right.
I didn't just become who I am by myself. It was
Right.
the aunties and friends and family who were. It was a community. It was a
You
community.
had the village. You
Yeah,
had the whole village around
yeah.
you.
It was a whole village around me where anyone could talk with me, anyone who could discipline me, anyone could sit down and be a mentor to me. So it took all these amazing people to help me become who I am. After I got out of college, I was able to be blessed
Where'd you
to.
go to school?
I went to Western Kentucky University.
Okay.
Yeah,
And evidently you pledged.
of course, and it's only one sorority, only one,
Only
1913,
one.
only one.
All right. So
Yeah, and so from my years of experience in high school and college, when I came home, I just was able to land an amazing job at Louisville Gas and Electric. And back then, my parents told me if you get a great job and great benefits, you stay there and you do not leave. So
right.
that's all I knew. So I put in 20 years of dedicated service to Louisville Gas and Electric, and I had a
Okay.
great company, a great tenure while I was there, great relationships. And I decided back in 2016, I'm like, huh, now, it's a great company. Don't have not one thing really bad to say in regards to it, but I was still at a point to where I felt like I was at the glass ceiling effect where I couldn't move. I was kind of stuck. I'm like, so what am I going to do about that, Nation?
Mm,
I'm not going to rely on the corporate people to do anything for me. I'm going to do what I need to do. So
right.
I prayed and I tried God, and I just took a leap of faith and turned in my 2 weeks notice and said, thank you so much, but I'm deuces. And it was a beautiful, it
Say,
was a
I'm
beautiful,
out.
I'm out, I'm gone. They threw me not one farewell party, they threw me two because I was a dedicated employee
Okay.
there at LG&E. And from there, I said, hey, I want to open up my own business. I want to create my own lane. I want to be able to try to focus on building generational wealth. And how do I do that if I continue to work for corporate America?
Right.
I came out of the box and I started building my own business. And, I said, hey, I could do this. I could do this.
Okay.
Um,
So what was the first business?
my first business was my event space located in a smoke town. And I wanted to bring in a business that where there was not, a lot of businesses that, especially not in smoke town like it
Right.
used to be. But I said, what about event space where people could come and have a really nice event, whether it's a birthday, retirement, a gala, a family reunion, and be able to have a nice event space, but at affordable cost.
Right.
So I opened up my event space. And then from there, it took off. And then from there, it went from one thing to the other. And then in
And that
2020,
event space is called what? What's the name of that?
Manhattan on Broadway. It's called Manhattan.
Manhattan on Broadway. All right.
Yes.
Got a little New York up in the Ville.
Here you go. I love New York. I love New York. So it was just one of those things. So I'm like, let me bring in a little.
It's a lovely name.
Yeah,
Absolutely a
yeah.
lovely name.
We get a lot of compliments off of that. So yeah,
Mhm.
I agree. And we done had so many amazing events, from corporate events, from private events, from church events, from all types of events we done had. In the years that we done been open since 2015, we have never not had
Wow.
not one issue, not one issue, not one problem, not one issue.
No.
Everything has been positive. So
Yeah, that's wonderful.
yeah.
Well, when when you're dealing with grown folks,
Hmm.
you don't have that much of a concern about
Yeah.
how we carry ourselves because I came to your mother's birthday party there,
Hmm. Hmm. Yes, ma'am.
and it was absolutely a lovely event and a lovely event space.
Thank you.
So if everybody who's listening, when you're looking for a place, keep the Manhattan on Broadway in mind. And
Please.
so when you move from there, because every time I looked up, you had a crew of people with you down on 4th Street Live.
Hmm.
So what's going on?
So in the middle of the pandemic in 2020, when businesses were closing their doors and when businesses were like, oh, what am I going to do? My
Yeah.
landlords put me out and I cannot afford to pay the rent for my businesses. And I lost my job, and a lot of these businesses came to me and knocked on the door at Manhattan on Broadway and was like, "Can you help?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute, I need help myself. How are we gonna?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?"
Mhm.
And then I just prayed on it, and I said, "God, what can I do where I can help not just my business, but what can I do to help all of these other businesses who have reached out to me, as well as all the other businesses that are local here and Black owned in Louisville?" We were
And
going,
it's a lot of mom and pop businesses. One and two people own their business. It's not a lot of people. It's
yeah,
like one or two people,
yeah, yeah.
which makes it difficult.
Got a lot of solopreneurs, micro businesses, people who were turning their hustle into a business. So I'm
Okay.
like, what can I do to help?
Yeah.
And from that, we were already dealing with civil unrest with all the issues we were having around the world, including in our own city, Louisville, around Breonna Taylor. I'm like, I got to do something to help. We're crying. We're going through it. What can I do
Yes.
to help?
Yeah, we were going through it.
We were going through it. I said, well, my way that I could help is maybe turn my event space into a 1 day event. And I did that. And I called it Black Business Matter Pop-Up Mall. It's a one-time event. And
Hmm.
it was such an overwhelming response from the whole entire community. People came out in packs from West End, from East End, from Portland, from Highland, from Germantown, from PRP, from LaGrange, from
Wow.
Central Indiana, and they came out and they patronized the Black owned businesses. They sold them out. They were sold out. They left the product. I mean, they
That's
sold
wonderful.
out. So at that time, I said, this is what it's about right here. And then a business owners who was out there showcasing said, "Can we please do this again?" I'm like, "Okay,
So
let
it
me
wasn't just a one-time
try
deal.
this one time deal." I said, "Well, let me try one more time because I have an issue with saying no, especially when I'm helping
Right.
someone else." I said, "Well, let me try it," and I tried it again. And then it became the same. More and more people came out. So then we started outgrowing our space at Manhattan on Broadway. And that time I was already serving. The mayor had appointed me to serve on the board for the downtown revitalization board. So,
Okay.
and I just happened to talk, and they were saying, "Hey, Nate, how's your business, the pop-up mall that you're doing? How's it doing?" I said, "Well, it was going great, but now we got an issue." And as I was just talking amongst, in general with people on the
Mhm.
board, they said, "What's your issue?" I said, "We know I grew our space." And from there, yeah, we were able to, partner up from that front with the 4th Street Live because they were on the board too with me. So,
Okay.
we at these
Ah,
tables and we're meeting
associations.
association, yeah.
Yeah, associations.
So we were able to kind of work out some things around with them, and we were able to create and be there once a month to be able to showcase Black-owned businesses. And we will be going back in the summer, the spring, once a month down at 4th Street Live, as well as we'll be traveling around the whole entire city to different
Oh, so you're
locations.
going to go to different places now.
Yes, ma'am. We're
Now,
going
when
to
you go around, this is your MelaNaire
business, MelaNaire Marketplace.
business, MelaNaire.
Mhm.
En français, un peu. Because you are. I mean, if people listen to what you've done just by stepping out on faith, you started with one,
Yeah.
then you moved to um, the marketplace, and then something else. God blessed you again. What happened? Tell me.
Which time? Look,
No,
now I'm having a hard time.
said
Now I'm having a hard time trying to keep up with what that is.
you're an executive director
Oh
of
yes. So
yes.
that I'm excited about that. So I serve executive director for Bates Community Development Corporation right there in Smoketown. And the beautiful thing about that is that actually happened in 2018. I lost my dad in June the 19th of 2018, and my dad is from Smoketown. So it happened to be I was already serving on the board for Bates CDC, and then our executive director at that present time, she had took another position,
Okay.
And so we're like, oh God, we need to find somebody to fill this, and we need to fill really fast. And I just kind of happened to move on into that position. But you know what? I was telling my sister and my mom and other people is that it don't even feel like work when I'm going into Smoketown to work every day and to work with the people in the community to help them to fulfill the needs that they need through
Hmm.
the Bates CDC, because I'm there doing what my dad would love and appreciate. I mean, he's smiling down on heaven every time I'm coming in Smoketown, helping those kids who are saying, "Hey, I need tutoring. I can't pass my grades." And
Right. Right.
when you get the senior citizens who say, "Hey, can you drop off a meal to us this week?" And and all the services that we provide, we helping those in the community who don't have those type of resources. So people are like, we need you all in this, in this
Well,
position.
that's got to be really fulfilling.
It is.
Just like you said, when you go, it's like, let me just go so I can be here and I can, because if you show up, you're going to be helping somebody. That's what you
Oh,
know.
oh
So
yeah.
where is it located? Where is the Bates Community CDC located?
Yes. Our address that we're at right now, 728 Jackson Street, but we work out of several other locations.
Okay.
So we tell people if there's something that they may need or know someone who may be in need of resources, give us a call at 502-636-0573. Or if you happen to call the church, just say, hey, how do I get in touch with the Bates CDC, which is the Community Development Corporation? And we'll
Okay.
better be able to tell everyone what type of.
I'm going to put the phone number down and
Oh
let
yeah.
it scroll on the bottom. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Look, I got this thing working. I think half the time I have it
Great.
working, and sometimes it goes crazy on me. What's the phone number now?
502
Uh huh.
636 0573 Bates CDC.
Okay. Let me see if I got that. And this is for. Okay. Show it. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. See, that's
All right.
nice.
All right. All right. So that's the number that they will call
Mhm.
if what? If the children need help with
Uh,
tutoring.
so, like right now, we have a after school program that has
Okay.
tutoring a part of it. It has enrichment. It has kind of like a community center feel to it.
Okay.
So kids need to be able to come anywhere from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. We'll feed them a healthy meal too as well. So if they need to come and eat,
Okay.
if they need let me see, like emergency food. They
Okay.
could give us a call and let us know that as well. Or some people, we used to do a free tax prep. So we do have different partners who are still doing that. So we have a lot of information where we could pass on, as well as we have a wellness, Norton's has a wellness, wellness
Like a
mobile.
satellite there.
It's
Okay.
like that it comes every Wednesday
Okay.
to 620 Lambton Street. So anytime you need to get into your primary care physician, or if you don't have a doctor, you need something around medical, and you need maybe tests, you maybe need to do COVID tests or whatever you may need, you're welcome to stop
They
by.
do some COVID vaccines on that Wednesday as well.
Well, I'm not sure, but I'll say this: knock on the door and just ask, because they
Okay.
used to. I don't know if they still doing different. I'm not sure, so I don't want to misspeak. But we
Okay.
got a lot of programs of what we're doing to help those, and we're working on affordable housing too. Through
Okay.
so we got
Wow.
a lot of pieces.
What that sounds like now is you said you all are on Jackson Street. Now I know, so you all are taking over kind of the place of Grace Hope, huh?
Uh huh. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because
Filling the gaps.
we
Yeah.
had with Shepherd Square and
Yes.
Grace Hope.
Yes.
That was a community within the community.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
And Grace Hope did a lot of things for that community. So that's
Oh
what
yeah.
CDC is doing for the revitalized area of Smoketown.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot of amazing other nonprofit community partners who are doing amazing work too. Like Youth Build Louisville doing some amazing work. Smoketown Family Wellness is a pediatric. People don't even know, but it's a pediatric center right there in Smoketown.
Oh wow.
People don't even
Okay.
have a clue. We're right there. It's 760 Hancock. Yeah.
Wow.
And I happen to serve on the board there, so I'm always going to be promoting that too as well.
Well, that's as they say, that's your job now.
Yeah.
That's it's a part. It's a part of your whole conversation is to
Mhm.
share the information that you have with the people that need the information.
Mhm. Mhm.
Conversation is a wonderful thing to have with people. Just like you say, you started talking about um, in one of the meetings with the people at the mayor's office to tell them that you ran out of space.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you had never brought that up,
Mhm.
just one, they say a closed mouth doesn't get fed.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
So you've truly been taught well. I know you had a role model. Your mother, Miss Ruby
Ooh,
Hyde, is
yes.
someone to emulate, to look up to.
Yes.
Tell
Salute.
me, tell me
Her.
how your mother really helped you to become the woman that you are.
Wow, man. She told me no a whole lot of times. And I didn't like it then. I was actually mad at her for me. I'm like, God, every time you ask her something, it's no, no. Or if you say, well, mom, like, I need to do this, what I want to do. Can you go ahead and call and set this up for me? 'Cause she's like, no, but I'll show you how to do it. I'm like, I'm a teenager.
Yeah,
Why come you
yeah,
can't call,
yeah.
mama? I want to be in that program. Why come you can't call? She's like, well, if you want to call, this is the contact information. This is a time frame that you will be able to get dropped out pickup. Now you call and sign up your own stuff. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, oh Lord,
Yeah,
I don't get no help. But she was helping me, but just in a different way.
right.
Um,
But you didn't really understand that she was
no, no. I
because you
didn't
wanted
understand
it
it.
like our kids today.
Yeah,
They
my,
were
my
just going to
friend
be
said it.
giving it to them.
Yeah, my friend said all I mean, their parents would call and make sure they had set up and picked up. And my mother, she didn't tell like I could rely on my mother to pick me up from Black Achievers or Lincoln Foundation. She's like, okay, you go ahead, you sign yourself up. I'll come to parent orientation. But from there, she would hand me the torque schedule and say,
The
this is where
bus,
you it's time you need to be
yes.
home. I couldn't wait on her.
I,
I
I'm
couldn't
not laughing, Nashawn.
Yes,
But
you are when you're laughing at me. Yes, you
look,
are.
we had to learn how to catch the bus. We went everywhere on the bus. We knew how to navigate the city
Wow.
on the bus. Now, if you notice, I've noticed that a lot of the kids nowadays, if their parents don't take them, they won't go.
Yeah. I mean, I had friends that did the same thing, and I had to wonder why I was on the bus stop. I mean, I learned how to transfer. I had to go from one bus to this bus. I had to look on the bus schedule and see what time this will connect. I'm like, why come my mom and dad can just pick me up?
Right.
I'm
No.
like,
My
nope.
mother did me the same way. My mother did me the same way. I said, Mom, I learned how to drive. I had a driver's license. I said, Mama, I ran down to the laundromat. I was late. I said, Mom, let me use the car. I got a doctor's appointment. She said, no, go get the bus. I said, well, why can't I use the car? She said, go get the bus. She said, because you're already late.
Mhm.
So this will teach you not to be late, to be on time. Maybe if I had been on time, she may have let me. But this was to teach me a lesson about being late. So
Oh,
she made me catch the bus. Girl, I was hot that whole day. I wouldn't even hardly talk to my mom.
oh
But
yeah.
those little lessons, man, they mean so much.
They mean so much now, but I told you I did not like them then at all. No, 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 no. I'm like, why come you just can't do it for me? I don't have time to do this.
Yes, yeah. But that was a good thing that she did for you.
Oh,
And so now when you want something, even as an adult, you get up and you go get it yourself.
myself. Yeah, yeah. I remember times when I had to sit inside of legislative meetings and council meet. Well, they used to call them aldermen back then, and I'm like,
Right,
Mom, why I got to go to this meeting with you? I don't care nothing about this. I can't even vote. She's like,
right.
nope, come on, come on. And then we had to go and do campaign initiatives and get people ready, like Dorothy Owens and everybody else ready to vote. And Rhonda, I can't think of the name, but tell me the amazing politicians. I'm like, Mom, why I gotta do this? This ain't community service for me. I don't want to do
Right.
this. I don't care about people getting in office. But I learned about policy, procedure, and government at a young age. I never forget we had to go to Frankfurt when John White Brown was in office. I'm like, I mean, I remember the name this like that because I had to travel and go and listen to them at the state. But I'm like, I don't care about this.
Yes.
I want to be having fun right now. I don't care about this. But now I tell you that I'm older, I'm in these same rooms now. It's like this is crazy. I'm in the same
Yeah.
rooms right now.
But you were groomed for what you're doing. You were actually groomed to be the woman, the entrepreneur that you are, the community activist, just all hands on.
Yeah.
Because anybody calls your mother, she's helping everybody. She got this. And she'll call me and say, Janice, I need you to show up. When Ruby says, Janice, you need to show up.
You
Believe me,
show up.
I show up.
Yes. Yes.
I show up. But it's there's one thing I'd like to put you in touch with Miss Principal Rice down at Shawnee,
Okay.
because they've got a business and entrepreneur program, and it might be really nice if the kids learned how to do maybe once a month what you started doing with the marketplace.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I think you'd be a
I would
wonderful
love
person
to.
to talk to them.
Matter of fact, maybe this is confirmation because their varsity basketball coach Norman Ellis had reached out to me last year. He's also one of my nephews too as well, on another side. But he reached out to me and said, "Hey, Auntie, I want you to do something like a marketplace, what we do at the MelaNaire marketplace. I want you to do that with the kids down at Shawnee." But I just never had a chance to follow up. So it might be confirmation
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I do need to speak with them.
And whatever I can do to be of help to you, just you can count on me, because I'm going to be more involved with the students down there. That's where I graduated high school.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I graduated Shawnee a long time ago.
Well, good. Well, you'll see me at some of the games now, because not only is my nephew the head coach, but my son, my oldest son, he's the assistant coach. So I'm going to be supporting Shawnee.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
Yeah,
Well,
Philip.
the principal, she would love to meet you, honey.
Okay. I would
She
love
would
to
love
meet her, Miss Rice,
yeah.
too.
That's great. But it's I wanted to have you on. I've been after you. I've been chasing you for I think 6 months.
Yes. Please forgive
I
me.
know you were busy, and I just really appreciate you taking the time, because this show is about highlighting people in the community that are doing some of the heavy lifting, and you don't always hear their voice or their story. So I give you a chance to tell your story.
Yes.
And that's important, because then people, when they see you, they won't be so hesitant if they've got something they want to say to you, or want to bring you an idea, or want to bring you into something. They won't be hesitant. They can walk up and say, Nachand, because then they'll know who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They'll know who you are, and then your tree just blossoms more and more and more. Because you've been blessed, girlfriend.
Yeah. I
You've
give it
truly
all
been
to the
blessed.
men above. I'll give it all to the men above and my wonderful parents.
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Lewis Hyde, Ruby Hyde, Lewis and
All
Ruby.
right.
Yeah.
You did a wonderful job, and you're doing a wonderful job in the community. And I just want to let you know, whenever there's something that special that you're doing, if you want to send me a note, or you want to come on and say, we're going to have a gala or something big that you want to blow up, just come back on.
Yes,
You got free reign over here.
I appreciate that. That'll be great. I'm most definitely going to take that up. But before we leave, I want to tell the listeners something exciting that's going to happen here in the holiday season. So the MelaNaire Marketplace is going to make its first appearance in the mall in St. Mathews. So we're going to have our own storefront where people can come in and shop inside of the mall in St. Mathews, with all these amazing Black-owned businesses coming from West Louisville and Smoketown
that's
and other parts of
wonderful.
the city. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's really wonderful.
Yes.
When do you'll start after Thanksgiving?
No, we open up not this Friday, next Friday on 11/18. It's our opening weekend. We'll be every weekend from November the 18th until the end of the year.
I want you to send me a text that date, and I'm going to put it in my phone, so the next time I do my show, I can mention it as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Because
most definitely.
We're having the show today live. I'll play this again on Friday.
Okay.
So if you're opening up on the 18th, then I'll play it again. That's a Friday. That's the
Yes, on a
Friday.
Friday. Yeah, November the 18th.
Okay. So then I will play it on that day that you're opening up.
Okay, wonderful. Well, that's great.
So it'll be I can put that announcement on that day. But Miss Nachand Trabue, I just want to tell you, you make I'm not gonna say you make us older women proud.
Oh,
When we look and see when we see young women, taking care of business, handling their business, knowing how to do for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And
yes,
at the same time, you're doing for your community.
yes,
And
ma'am.
there's no bigger blessing than that to when you help somebody. And it's all about us helping somebody.
Amen.
That's all about us helping somebody. So thank you so much for your time. It's dinner time. Go have your dinner.
Have dinner
And,
time, okay?
and I'm going to tell you on that note, bon appetit. And I'll send you the link so you can send this out to your followers. You can find it on YouTube or Facebook. You just have to look under Jantastic Productions. So you can send it out to whomever you want to send it out. And you can use it to promote whatever you need to promote. Be my guest.
That sounds wonderful. And thank you so much for having me. And thanks for paving the way for me.
Oh, sweetie. Look, you're like family.
Yes.
You
Yes,
know,
ma'am.
your mom was like my sister. So
Mhm.
we're family. So, and I know how proud Ruby, my daughter's doing this. The next time she told me something different. The next time I saw her, she told me something different. I said, my goodness. I said, when does she have time? But you have made time. And it all fits. Does it not all fit into your schedule?
It all fits in. And I'm learning how to do things a little bit different, but still be able to fit it in. I'm
Okay.
working smarter, not harder.
Okay. It has a lot to do with time management. You
Yes.
got 3 businesses, but you can handle them because they're each kind of on a different
Mhm.
spectrum and time frame.
Right. Yeah.
So you got it.
And we got a team now, so we're able to hire our own people. So we got a
Okay.
team.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay, if everybody sees at the bottom of the screen is Bates CDC, the phone number where you can call to Bates CDC for any services, any help you might need with your
Oh
your
yeah.
kids as far as tutoring, any food disparities,
Hmm.
problems that you have, senior citizens. If you need some help,
Hmm.
call up and tell them what you need.
Yeah. Affordable housing. We're working on that right now. Anybody interested from Smoketown or live in Smoketown, we want to talk with them to see what would they like to see in Smoketown. Yeah, we're working
Okay,
on that now.
that's beautiful. Take care of yourself, sweetheart.
All right. Thank you so much, Auntie. We appreciate you.
God bless you, sweetie. Have a good
You
evening.
too.
Bye
Good
bye.
night.
That's Miss Nachand Trabue. Now, that young lady is busy. She's doing things and making a difference in our community. You know, it's really nice to see young ladies that are coming up to the baton has been passed on to them, to move on up and take the place of those that are moving on out, so or retiring, just someone that's got an event space. She's got the marketplace for entrepreneurs, Black business owners, and they're going to be at St. Mathews Mall starting in November 18th. That's going to be wonderful. That's going to be a big help. So they've got all these different places where they're moving around the city. So Black businesses can sell their wares because Black businesses do need help. That COVID knocked everybody's socks off. So now that Miss Nachand has set up a formula for them to be a part of, and so they can still make money and be in business and serve the community as well. So on that note, I'm going to say we're going to play this again on Friday, 7 p.m. It will be this conversation that I had with Miss Nachand Trabue. And on that note, I have to say, Ciao. Next Monday, it's going to be Tony Ware from Liberty Financial. He's going to talk about some of the products that they have that you may be in need of, refinancing, financing, any kind of banking, financial information that you might need. Hopefully, we'll be able to answer some of those questions for you next Monday on Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. And so, on that note, I'd have to say, bon appetit. Have a good evening. Take care. And good evening. Well, I did something. I moved the thing all the way up. There you go.